Randy,
have you ever witnessed something like that?
I have.
Oh, okay.
I have in my time.
The speaker asking
yes,
an MP to go out. Okay.
Okay. But you see, in Parliament, we say Parliament is a master of its own rules. In Parliament, a lot of, should I say...
So this was Speaker Okwe?
Okwe, yeah.
Okay.
A lot of communication happens because it is not through the mic or the audio system within the chamber. It is not recorded in the handset. But you see MPs making gestures.
No, explain what you just said.
There's an official record of proceedings in Parliament. And that is speaking through the mic. Anything you say through the mic will be recorded. Even if it's a cry, even if it's a shout, it will be recorded. And that's official record. Beyond that, you see MPs making remarks across the aisle. Sometimes they shout across or they make gestures and all of that. It's all part of parliamentary processes. And sometimes, I mean, you need to heckle somebody, person is on the floor, and it's very much accepted until it becomes unruly. In this case, you see, sometimes I am not too sure what the current standing or this situation is with the Speaker of Parliament. But you see, the Speaker of Parliament is not a member of Parliament. The Speaker of Parliament is there to oversee or to ensure that the rules that the MPs have agreed to govern the proceedings of Parliament are adhered to. The Speaker is there to ensure that the standing orders are adhered to. Simplicity. In many times, the Speaker should not even have opinions on what is happening on the floor. He is to superintend and ensure that MPs are playing within the confines of the framework.
Is he also not supposed to guide?
To guide. And to guide, it depends on the extent, but the opinion of the Speaker should be, you know, MPs are elected members of Parliament who represent constituencies, right? The Speaker is not.
Are you suggesting that a Speaker cannot express an opinion on a matter?
It depends on the extent. That's what I want to say. A lot of times, I mean, when it comes to when there are issues, the Speaker interprets the standing orders or the Constitution, and by so doing, it's an expression of their opinion on what the standing orders are saying relative to specific instances, and that's okay. In this particular case, it is not the first time a Speaker has asked the Marshal to remove a member of Parliament. I witnessed it. And the Speaker Okwe, I recollect probably it's not necessary to mention the MP's name. You see, when proceedings are happening, and especially in this instance, where there is specific communication from the President to Parliament, I really will find it very difficult to accept that at the time of that communication is where the Speaker also offers his opinion on the matter that communication is raising. As a Ghanaian, I am sure that we are all entitled to advocate one issue or the other. The issue of capping the number of Supreme Court it's been dealt with in so many forums, and people have diverse opinions, and sometimes it even depends on which side of governance you are at a particular point in time. What does the Constitution say? Minimum of 9. That's not put on our Parliament. A couple of days ago, I read something from the Chief Justice or from the Judicial Council, saying, I mean, referring to the amount of outstanding work given the number of Supreme Court judges they have, and why, as a nation, we are growing. The number of cases that the Supreme Court will have to attend to is growing by leap and bounds over time. And so, if there is a need, and especially in this instance, when the Judicial Council itself had come out and said, look, given the level of work to be able to push this through, to be able to have judgments, and justice delayed is justice denied. Why don't we operationalize that, ensure that these cases are attended to? So what the Honorable Member of Parliament sought to do was to remind the Speaker. You see, the Speaker is unique. He's unique in the case that, look, in fact, at the time of the 7th Parliament, he was the longest serving member of Parliament. So he was the father of the House. And so he himself is a repository of of parliamentary proceedings and all of that. And so when he sits in the chair, the expectation of him is very, very high. You see, by anybody who is privileged enough to go through that institution, like myself, we hold him very high esteem. To the extent that he gave the honorable member the floor to advocate what he is dropped though. You see, and it's very normal in Parliament for people to retort at something another member is saying, or even the speaker.
But what really,
it's very normal.
But Alaji, what really did the speaker say?
Yeah.
For which reason the member will tell the speaker that it doesn't lie in your mouth?
You see,
this is what the speaker is quoted as saying.
The position is that
just hold on.
The clip or whatever is giving us from a point in time.
Yes.
What the speaker was saying.
Yes.
But you see, the speaker is expressing an opinion on the communication that the president.
So let's hear what he said. Now, see, it says referring the nominations to the speaker, to the committee. Sorry, the speaker said there was the need for a national dialogue on what constitutes full complement, in quotes. And he says, and whether or not there should be a cap on the number of justices on the Supreme Court. Quote, what this means is that we are being called upon by this letter of the President as a House to look at the issue of full complement of the Supreme Court. We need to look at what makes the full complement of the court. Should it be 13, 14, 15, or 20? It is for this House to decide. And I'm urging you to look at this issue during the constitutional reforms, or to pass a legislation to give an upper limit of how many people we can have at the Supreme Court for a country of 33 million people. How does this become, first of all, the member says they're prejudicial. He says, Mr. Speaker, these pronouncements you are making are prejudicial. And as representative of the people of Sefiri, so I believe that it doesn't lie in your mouth to remind us of the things that you have said.
Randy, the Speaker of Parliament, Right Honorable Alban Kingsford Sumanu Bagbe, has every right to make such calls. But should it be at a point where the president, in fact, when you go to Parliament, one of the first things you do after prayer is to address communication coming from the president. It's because it's so crucial to the institution. He could have made this call at any other fora, but to a direct reference to the communication from the president at the point where he was referring the matter to a committee. I think that
but where
he could have
else?
also exercised that judgment.
That was the most opportune
That's what
time.
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
He doesn't sit in committees.
He could have done this call in his lies and his right to do this at any point in time. But the honorable member found out that, look, at the point that you were making this referral, you just have to pay the communication. Those people have been nominated. What is the procedure in Parliament? The matter is referred to the appropriate committee. Case closed. But for the comments, the extra comments that he needed at that particular time, I think that the honorable member did not find too favorable. And neither do I. And neither do I. Maybe his reaction and all of that caught the attention of the speaker. It's another thing to be done, because I wasn't there and I don't think the camera captured the whole scenario. But I'm thinking that much as it lies in the right of the right honorable speaker to make such calls, a cap on the number of judges at the Supreme Court, as to Parliament legislating and what is appropriate, or what constitutes the technical word that was used in the communication.
Full complement.
Full complement. What constitutes a full complement of the Supreme Court? I think that much as it lies in the right of the speaker to do that, doing that in direct reference to the communication coming from the president is something that I also don't find it I am not very comfortable with it, especially at the point that the matter is being referred to a committee. It's more or less at the point, because this is going to be captured in the Hansard. When the committee sits, I don't know whether it's going to be part of the terms of reference for the committee to determine what it is or what Parliament had to do going forward.
You don't think?
But in any case, the honourable member He's a free-spirited, very knowledgeable, a very respected member of parliament. I mean, if you know
Very
him,
true.
you know him.
Very true.
Very, 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 very affable. I mean, he's one of the members of parliament who will not make too much noise. But if you get to know him,
Very
you
true.
will love him.
True.
Very deep thinking.
True.
Very deep thinking, and
Yes,
a very
true.
respectable member of parliament. For him to have gone through this, it's. I mean, it's. I just hope that other legislators will learn through it. I mean, looking at his demeanor after the incident, when he granted the interview, he was also putting his case across, and he didn't mean to disrespect the speaker. I don't think that this man, Honorable Hukwefri, will do this, and he has said it. He didn't intend to do that. But for me, I was also not too happy with the way the marshal even handled the matter. But in any case, we are moving on, and these are all incidents that will feed into us perfecting our selected mode of governance. And so once in a while, these things will happen. But when we disagree, we have to move on. And I'm happy that we are moving on from this point. I'm sure apologies will be made, and then we move on. But I think that the speaker, like some of us have said, we've seen speakers before him. For him, his situation is unique because he's been the longest serving member of parliament under the Fourth Republic. And so we expect a bit more. Well, we do expect a bit more from him sometimes. But some of the comments, and at the time he makes those comments, I think that he should measure that and get us all to move on. That's my view on this.
Okay.